some right-wingers tried to make a club at a public university in Utah, and so they set up a booth and tried to form a club called Students for the Second Amendment Club. The problem was that these right-wingers didn't follow school policy, public university policy, and so obviously the school told them to take down their booth and that they could not form their club. Now, instead of attending to the rules and creating and soliciting new clubs, they decided to take the school's response as an attack on their free speech. These triggered snowflakes then posted a video about it to attempt to exploit how public colleges are against the Second Amendment. At least that's how this video has been framed. Take a look.
We are starting a club.
Okay, so we're event services.
Okay.
And we are walking around making sure everyone's schedule tables are available, and we don't have this on our schedule.
So this is public university, isn't it?
We have policies that prevent you guys from being able to just come and do it. The policies you have to go through the scheduling office.
So can you explain to me what the policy is?
It's the free speech policy.
You can't set up a structure. You can walk around with your flags, but
Okay.
you can't set up a structure.
Okay, and so what are kind of like, okay,
Since you're trying to start a club, the way you can schedule a structure or a table is go through the club's office.
okay,
Cassidy Tippett is the contact
Okay.
over there.
So I have a question about that.
Yeah.
In order to schedule a club, it says you have to be like registered, a chartered club. How are we supposed to start a club when it requires that you have 6 student IDs and it's just one person?
Yeah, that's through the club's office.
Because that feels like a turnaround policy
You
in
can go
my
talk
world.
with them. Like if you are really trying to start a club, I'd go talk to the club office and see what they can do to help.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't set up a structure.
okay.
Which a table is considered a structure.
And so what's the consequence for like violating the policy?
You'll take it down.
Okay,
And if you don't, then campus police will
okay, good to know. All right, we're happy to put it down.
Yeah, you just need to take down the table and you're free to walk.
Okay,
But
And
not
the way, if you wanted to do a structure if you don't have a club, is you can do an off-campus event request. Just
Okay.
Google UVU Event Services. It's a $75 flat fee per day that you have to keep.
okay.
We'll provide you with your table.
Yeah. So we're starting a Students for the Second Amendment club. Yeah. You guys want to sign up?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
All right, well, we can put the table down.
I would go work with Cassidy in the club's office and see if she can get you chartered or help you get more members.
How's it going? You like freedom?
So, this policy that the university is pointing to is a policy that every public university has in place, and for good reason. Basically, there are 2 rules that these right-wingers broke. The first rule was that if you want to set up a booth or structure, you need to pay for that space. It's like a tax. The point of that rule is that the school doesn't want to make all speech free. Otherwise, you'd have advertisers setting up 100 booths in order to spam their products. Public universities typically host career fairs, and what people don't realize is that those businesses that are trying to find employees are there to search for employees. It's not just students trying to find work, it's employers also trying to find workers. If these businesses could, they would all host a booth 24/7, but they can't because of school policy. That's not an attack on free speech. That's just a way of protecting public education from an overwhelming amount of corporate interests. So the fee is typically around $50 to $150 on each campus. If you don't like that, then don't be surprised when campus officers escort you off the campus. Like these snowflakes are like, no, no, right? The other policy that the lady in the video referred to was a policy on creating clubs. You need at least 6 students to form a club. That's not an attack on free speech either. That's just attending to the definition of a club. If you are the only member in your club, then you're not a club. If you need help understanding that, then pull out a dictionary and look up the definition of a club. The purpose of that is to protect public universities from special interest groups forming clubs on campuses that don't want the club to exist in the first place. On top of that, you can't get 6 people to make this club. You can't get 6 people to make this club. It's so hard to find 6 people that you'd consider asking if you could make a club with. Just one person. Imagine being that one person. Oh my gosh. that girl on the side of that video, she was like, hey, you want to join our club? Oh my gosh, think of this. Let this absorb. She's the only member of that club. Oh, that's so sad. Why does that make you feel like your free speech is attacked, though? Imagine asking that really sad question and then feeling triggered. Like, oh my gosh, imagine asking that question, that really sad question, and then feeling triggered because you don't get the answer that you want. That's just beyond sad. It's not an attack on free speech. It's just do your research before you go on college campuses. It's not an attack on free speech.